Welcome back, my friends, to another fantastic episode. And today we're going to be doing part 1 of how to do a kitchen renovation with before and after pictures. And today we're going to touch on the 13 essential areas that you need to discuss and plan as you do that kitchen renovation. So let's get started. For budget-friendly home improvement advice where we help you save more so that you can do more. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so that you can be notified each week when we have a new episode. So for today's video, I broke down the kitchen renovation process into 3 areas because I think when you can break it down into smaller sections, when you're going from a before blank canvas to after finished dream kitchen, there's a lot of decisions to be made in that process. And if you've never done a full gut or a new build, that's what this whole kitchen renovation is going to be talking about, how it's going to be budget friendly. You need to set your budget. But let's first talk about the breakdown of the 25 areas of things that you're going to have to decide on. I broke it down into 3 areas. The essentials, you must have these items in order to call or classify the area as a kitchen. The second is nice to have. These are, and I polled a bunch of different people, and it was interesting the different suggestions that I got back of if they were to redo their kitchen again, what did they have to have and what could they live without? And so I put it into nice to have categories, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on. Again, this is just an overview. And the third area is bells and whistles. These are just, you don't need them in your kitchen, but they're really, really, really nice to have. And yes, you can argue and comment below if you would put one of the things that I have today, the essentials, nice to have, and bells and whistles. This was just my breakdown. There's no hard and fast rule, but we are budget friendly, and sometimes these bells and whistle things are not things that we're gonna have at first if you're trying to stick to your budget, or if your budget's pretty big, then yeah, you could throw in the bells and whistles after you have the essentials and the nice to haves. So that's first thing is we have 3 categories: essential, nice to have, bells and whistles, and we're going to talk about each one of those categories, how we can make them budget friendly, and let's get you through the process of get this kitchen renovation started. So I need to mention yet again that I am following our ultimate home improvement guide, which is a checklist that we have for you in the description below. Go ahead and get that if you want to get started. It details these areas, and then it gives you a little bit more of explanation of which we're not doing today. It's an overview. So let's start with the essentials, and my little teacher spirit had to get out the whiteboard here. So bear with me. And I want to make sure I get a marker here so I can write as well. But I wanted to really break down helping you decide. You need your budget. So first and foremost, what is it that you want to spend on your kitchen renovation? If you are going from gutted walls to your dream kitchen, that budget is up to you. I can tell you that you can do a $5,000 budget. You could do a $10,000 budget. In doing these budgets, there are going to be some things in here that are going to, again, I think you need the essentials. Maybe you're not going to have the nice to haves and the bells and whistles, but let's first talk about set your budget. Second thing that I want you to do is let's look at the essentials. And I'm going to show you pictures of, we have gutted maybe 4 kitchens, 5 kitchens so far, 6 kitchens, I don't know, at various degrees. I've done apartments, I've done small single family homes, I have done, this is a duplex that we converted into a single family. I have done, we have a galley kitchen out there that we started with blank walls. So I have started blank numerous times, and there are some basic things that you need to have that you're gonna have to spend your budget for whether you like it or not. It's kind of one of those things that you're like, oh, I can't believe I have to spend $200 on a window. But, you know, let's start with that. First, the essentials. You need to have walls. And maybe yours is going to be an open concept kitchen, but if you're to the studs, you're going to want to do something about that. So you're going to want to finish it with drywall, make sure insulation, and if you're starting with a full gut, you'll see our full gut. We were to the studs. We could see outside in this conversion one. So you need walls. Doors. Maybe it's not going to be doored off as far as, like, we are an open kitchen where we are right now, but if you see beside me, I do have a door, and I chose to do a window with slats on it, as you can see, and I chose to do the full way. You could save some money if you only did half. We're going to talk about that when we talk about doors, or a solid door, or the types of doors and the decorative doors. You can go into we're going to do a whole thing on doors later, but you need a door in your kitchen, at least to go to the outside area. Some paint. You will want to have a paint that is nice for your kitchen. And the reason I pause is because paint is so, like, a whole nother level of discussion, but you are going to want to have to paint it. A gallon, 2 gallons, whatever it's going to take in your home. Windows. A lot of times, like, our window right here is not over our sink. You sometimes do a sink window because of our layout. We did it this way, but most people like a window or multiple windows in their kitchen, and that matters when you're doing your design. But again, we'll talk about that later. Countertops. We've gone in detail about the 5 most popular countertops, which are butcher block quartz, granite, concrete, and laminate. Those are the 5 most prevalent in kitchen areas. Obviously, you can do other ones. There's definitely other styles and types, but those are the 5 that we broke down, and I'll link to those below in the bottom, so that if that's a decision for you. We also have a concrete countertop course, which this is that I'm touching, but you do want countertops. Faucets. You need a faucet, and I had no idea there were so many varieties of faucets until I went shopping for them, and so that's why we did this list for you, so that you could track on how much you're going to spend for the faucet, what's most important for you, of where you put your money in your kitchen. Outlets. I would have never thought this was an important thing, but when we were designing the kitchen and we were trying to think, okay, if you were going to have a coffee maker, a KitchenAid mixer, if you're going to have, I use my NutriBullet, or whatever it's called, the bullet. I blend stuff all the time. Even if you were going to have a crock pot here for a party situation, thinking through your outlets in your kitchen, very important. So your before and after, you want to think about all of these items. Cabinets. Everybody almost goes to, okay, I'm going to do my kitchen cabinets. They're very important, and they're going to be one of your biggest costs. So you definitely want to think that out, and that layout of the cabinets is going to affect your doors, your walls, the windows, your countertops, where you're going to put your faucet. So cabinets, we're going to talk about that in another episode, different trends that you can have, the different designs, where you can get designs, all those things. Again, this is just an overview. Lighting. You will want to have lighting. You can have specialty lighting, which I have down here. Specialty lighting is different than the actual lighting. We have recessed lighting in the kitchen, and then we have these pendant droplets that I'm not sure if you can see, pendant lighting over the island area. That, to me, lighting was like a crazy concept to try to visualize when we had a blank surface, but again, we'll talk about that more with lighting. Your range, oops, it's spelled wrong, range and stove. So your range as in cooktop, whether it's going to be a stove or whether it's going to be built in, that is important to know where it is, what type you're going to get. Microwave, hood, vent. I put that all together because budget friendly, a lot of times you use your microwave and that is your vent. Sometimes you can have a extra hood over the stove area, and then that's just going to add more to your bottom line. So I put it all as one, and then you get to decide what that's going to be for you. A sink. It's essential. And again, had no idea there were so many choices in sinks until I went shopping. And then the last thing is flooring. So these are the, I don't know how many there are, but you can see my list here. These are the most essential that if you are going to have the bare bones basic of kitchens, you're going to want to touch on these areas. And I think of hotel rooms where you go in and they have a small kitchenette area in order for you to stay a couple days. They're going to have, oh, I guess I should have put fridge on here, refrigerator. I didn't. So I missed that one, but I'll add it to our list here. But your refrigerator, your appliances. So I did the microwave and I did the range and stove, but I forgot the refrigerator, which again, unless we're going to go back to the icebox days, it's pretty important. So wanted to touch on the essentials that you're going to need to discuss as you are doing a before and after in your kitchen renovation.